Hello guys, welcome to Screencast on gambling in sport. So this is third sociocultural topic for A-level PE, and it's under the heading of deviance. So deviance is this kind of concept of breaking the rules. We've had a look at drugs in sport, we've had a look at violence in sport. Now we're looking at this concept of gambling. So within gambling, there are two objectives that you have to be able to explain and then give examples, and they are, well, first one is match fixing and bribery, and then you've got illegal sports betting as your second objective. So just a quick point on this, gambling in sport is not illegal in the UK. People gamble on sport. However, the problems with gambling in sport comes from these two objectives here. Because of gambling in sport, you get this concept of match fixing and bribery, which is illegal, and then obviously illegal sports betting, which is illegal. So what we're going to have a look there quickly is have a look at the following key terminology points. So what do we need to know? So I've said here it's not actually illegal. The study that we're going to be focusing on is as follows. So key terms, you need to make sure you've got these definitions down. They're really important. Match fixing then. So the concept of match fixing is basically playing a game to a completely or partially predetermined results. Okay, what that means is that you've got kind of a player, a team, or a referee is underperforming, so it stops them from winning. So it could lead to them drawing or losing, and that's usually due to financial gain, that they are pushed towards this for financial gain. So going on from that, bribery works alongside this. Is when money is offered to gain an unfair advantage. So if whoever's bribing is putting money on an event, and then that money they offer gives them an unfair advantage when they're betting. So going on from there then, illegal sports betting. So the second objective then, this involves placing a bet, and this is the key thing here, an unregistered bookmaker or bookie, and it is massively linked to match fixing and organised crime, because if it's not registered, they're not regulated, therefore it can be massively, works hand in hand with this. So if we go on then, they're your three key definitions, make sure you've got them on there. Match fixing and bribery work together, illegal sports betting are separate. So we'll split them up now then. So starting off, match fixing and bribery then. Key points to consider. Now, match fixing, game fixing, whatever you want to call it, fixing the result of an outcome of a race, has been going on for years. And you go back to the ancient Olympic Games, it was happening then. Okay, it's always been the case in the kind of pre-industrial times. There would be kind of running races, and certainly going into kind of industrial times. The kind of idea of pedestrianism, so this race, walking and running, people would be kind of fixing results then. They would be kind of trying to avoid handicaps in order to gain an unfair advantage, and so the money that was being spent on it, they would get part of that winning. So it's really important to understand it's been around for a long time. I mean, these points here, do you need to write them? It's just me trying to get you into it, I suppose. Match fixing, illegal sports betting then. So basically, match fixing comes about as a result of illegal sports betting. These two are synonymous, okay? They kind of work together. So you're going on from that. Usually if match fixing or bribery takes place and court, it's dealt with internally by the governing bodies of a sport. So maybe just add that bit. So these are the points you're considering to get you into this concept of match fixing and bribery. Then we need to make sure we've got this section here. Examples. What I'd ask you to do before your lesson is if you just come have a quick look, just type in Google, Italian football club here, Juventus, match fixing 2006. Hansi Cronje, South African cricket player, put here match fixing and see what you can find for that. Tomorrow we'll have a look at how a performer could actually lead to a match being fixed. But for now, just see if you can have a look at that before the lesson and then see how that looks, see if you can give some examples. Type of question you would get. Define or describe match fixing. Give an example of match fixing. From contemporary sport. So that would be something you'd be looking at. So that's another one. How could a match be fixed? Which we'll have a look at lesson tomorrow. Finally then, illegal sports betting. Now it's illegal, if you remember the definition or the description, because it's based around an unregistered bookmaker, which is called a bookie. Okay, that means they're unregulated. Now, why does illegal sports betting take place? Well, because in some countries, betting is illegal. Okay, full stop. So in India, you're not allowed to bet online or in a bookies, that it's not allowed. So that becomes like a hotbed for illegal sports betting then. Going on from there, you got places like Singapore. They have bookmakers shops. You could go in and place a bet, but you cannot. It's illegal to do it online, which opens up a whole web of problems, as I'm sure you can imagine. So that's why it takes place, because it's prohibited in some places. And then The problems with illegal sports betting, so this is really important, is what's the downside to this concept of illegal sports betting? Yes, it's against the law, but what societal implications does it have? Well, it certainly says government. It has implications for the government because they can't tax the bets that are taking place. Okay, that's the first bit. Next problem with illegal sports betting, it's the precursor, it's the kind of catalyst for match fixing. And finally, illegal sports betting, because it's not regulated, often isn't fair. So what you're saying is that the bookmaker, the illegal bookie, might have knowledge about a game or situation that the person who's betting doesn't know about, and therefore they're kind of making money. So it's an unfair advantage. So those are the three key problems. Ethical issues then. What are the ethical issues? If we've read this kind of sportsmanship kind of definition, the Olympic oath, well, the ethical problems with this then is it goes against this concept of sportsmanship, fair play, Olympic oath. Also, ethical issues, with the internet, it's very difficult to regulate the age of people who are betting. So it could be young people under the age of 18, children who then become addicted to it as they get older. And then finally, you've got integrity. It takes away the integrity of sport because sport is based upon this unpredictability. We all love sport because you don't know what's going to happen. And if you take away that integrity, that unpredictability, it's a real ethical concern for sport as sport, but also sport as a business. So these are the key things I'd ask you to look at. Please make some notes on this. Remember, we're looking under two key objectives. We've got match fixing, bribery. You need to have definitions of these two examples. Illegal sports betting then, and can you just make sure what are the problems with it, okay, and then what are the ethical concerns with illegal sports betting, okay. Thank you.